Hello, everybody. And Mathieu just joined in time when we started the streaming. Hello, folks, and welcome to the June edition of the Flatcar office hours. In the office hours, we discuss news and happenings in and around Flatcar. It's a very user-centric meeting. And so if you have questions on general Flatcar usage or just chat us up, then this is the place. We have one or two news. Agenda is pretty light today. Before we start, Flatcar is a CNCF incubating project, and as such, we adhere to the CNCF Code of Conduct, which means be nice to each other. If you want to chat and you find someone just not stop talking, like me right now, just use the raise hands feature and you'll get your room to speak up. That said, let's have a look at the agenda. I share my screen. And here we go. Oh, all right. As I said, pretty lean agenda. We're all just a regular maintainer circle today. There's no guest. So I'm going to skip the introduction round and we go to the announcements. Now, cgroups v1 has been in, oh wow, that looks bad. cgroups v1 has been in deprecation for quite some time. And we will phase it out entirely in 2025. Well, it looks better. Okay. And it comes with the adoption of systemd 256, which has dropped cgroups v1 backwards compatibility entirely. That means upstream doesn't test it anymore. Upstream doesn't support it anymore. They don't accept patches that fix things that affect cgroups v1. And so with introduction of systemd 256, we will also drop support for cgroups v1. Now, if you check the Flatcar releases, then you'll see that systemd 256 is already in beta. So if you wanna validate your workloads to work on cgroups v2 only, that's your chance to join the beta program. The beta program is made for, basically it's our stable, like beta is as stable as we can make it, right? We always recommend to run a few nodes on beta, so you'll see the changes that are coming, and you can actually stop us from bringing anything that breaks your experience to stable. So that's what beta is for. All right. I don't know if we have a strong plan yet to move the current beta to stable. We'll look into that later in the release planning. But cgroups v1 deprecation is coming, and you should be prepared for it. When you use in-place updates, then your node will simply refuse to update to the newer version if the newer version breaks cgroups v1 support and you're still using cgroups v1. We will detect that during the upgrade and refuse the upgrade. So your workloads are safe for the time being, and you have your time to migrate. If you absolutely need a little more time on cgroups v1, our current LTS, which was introduced in March, supports cgroups v1 and will continue to do so until the end of 2025, the least. And then you get 6 months to move to the next LTS. So you're safe roughly until Q1 next year. Still, cgroups v1 is very outdated. It's very unlikely that the majority of developers run it, so it's not very well tested. Please migrate to cgroups v2. And we have one agenda item, and that was the awesome bug smashing day. Give the mic to Cyan. Cyan, do you want to chat a little bit?
Sure. So yeah, so we had a bug smashing day on Friday. We will try to have this on a more regular basis. But in all, we closed around 25 or 20 issues. But yeah, we have interacted with a lot of the issues which have been long pending or could be referred to as stale. We have asked folks to give an update on how things look like on that issue, if they are still reproducing the same issues or can those be closed? Few work has been done on that side. We also picked up or identified issues which could work there. For example, the work that Jan did on updating the readmes. So those were also few work which was done. Similarly, for websites and others, we did some work on creating new PRs or the missing documentations that was there. So overall, I think it was a good, successful bug smashing day, given we had it after like a couple of months, and definitely hit a good number of kind of we hit the expectation that we were hoping for from the bug smashing day. Anything else, folks would like to add? Matthew, Jan, Alvin.
Good.
Okay, I think that's all from myself. Tilo?
Awesome. Yeah, I loved it as well. I'm looking forward to have that more regularly. We were originally aiming for the last Friday of each month. Now, when we restarted this initiative in May, we didn't quite realize that the last Friday in May would be a bridge day for most of us. So we moved it to early June, but by the end of June, we're planning for the next one. Mathieu?
Yes, in the last 2 years, we did once a doc smashing day, so it was almost the same thing as a bug smashing day, except that you go through the documentation to see if it's still accurate, if we are missing some stuff. So, did we plan to do this again in the next month? Because it was quite interesting.
Absolutely, yes.
My my idea is actually to either merge it or like to have alternate months, because that is because I mean the reason is that if we do it if you do it on a like the bug smashing day on like a monthly basis, there might be issues that are like not updated, like that's a bit too frequent. So I was actually thinking like name it bug smashing day, but then we can do more items in those, like for example the other work which we usually don't get time, but then this day could be dedicated a day to look into those items. But we can, I mean, given the naming is more on the lines of bug smashing, but we can definitely like rename it to something else, or as I mentioned, we can cycle in like bug smashing and documentation day, so that we have the agenda set for the call. Oh.
Okay, gotcha.
Community hacking days.
Maintenance days.
Yeah, that sounds great too. So for everybody not aware how these work, during all day, mostly like the greater EU time zone, many of the maintainers will be on an all-day Jitsi call that everybody can join, pick up work. We'll regularly discuss the issues we're tackling, and we'll actually be filling and maintaining a HackMD doc like this one. So this has been a live collaboration, and it's being created during bug smashing and dogfighting. All right, awesome. Yeah, no, it was a great thing. Looking forward to have that more regular. Okay. So before we switch to the release planning, which is pretty much the last item in our list, it's open mic time. Did you folks bring something that you want to discuss?
Yeah, maybe if I could, I just want to talk a little bit about the progress with the PR and branching rules tracking. So far, we're doing pretty good, I guess. With trying to standardize everything, we're almost done with most uh, repositories that do not have a specific maintainer attached to them, which is the majority. Uh, the few remaining ones have to deal with mainly some permission issues. And so far, it looks like nothing is burning, blowing up, or anything like it. So that's good. And thanks everyone for help me push that it's really cool to make sure that you don't blow up anything doing that. And yeah, I guess when we're done with the general ones, we'll start focusing on individual higher frequency of development, maybe let's call that, repositories like Sysax Bakery or maybe scripts and so on. And yeah, that's it.
This is good stuff, and it's great to see that someone takes care about all these things and basically streamlining stuff, which makes it a lot easier for folks to onboard, and which makes the whole project a lot more approachable from for CNCF folks. Revan.
I think you might be muted.
Yeah, if you're talking, Irvin, we can't hear you.
Hello.
Yeah,
You
that's
better
better.
now?
Yeah, very
Wow.
good.
Hi everyone. Yeah, so I also have two topics. The first one would be very small. I noticed that when I would be testing Nebraska in the staging environment, I only have a viewer role. So I just wanted to ask if there is someone that could help me out, giving me admin privileges there. I'm not sure if Cyan, you or Tilo or Matthew, you are able to. And anyways, so that's a side topic. I have another topic as well, which is about the OIDC implementation of Nebraska. Last week I started investigating an issue that a user reported, which is about logging an ID token in the ingress controller. And during investigation, I realized that there is a bit of misalignment between the docs of setting up keycloak or the OIDC with the different providers and the actual implementation. So Nebraska is mixing two different flows. One is a session-based flow, and the other one, which is much more common with SPAs, that is mixed here. So I just want to give a heads up here that I'm going to rework this section of the documentation, also the implementation. I hope that it won't bring any breaking changes in the future. But I just wanted to give a heads up.
That's it. That's a very good call out. That makes sense. If you fear that this could, potentially negatively impact self-operated Nebraskas in future releases, we could absolutely make it a recurring thing, just like we did with the C groups we want stuff, and be absolutely noisy about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so, regarding the other question, the lack of access rights, is that a GitHub thing or an AWS thing?
GitHub. Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me a link or something?
So the Flatcar organization should have an applications section where you can see the users. I don't think that I have the permission to see that page. Maybe if not you, then I guess.
So it's an organization-wide setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think let's team up and find ourselves through there. I think it's GitHub apps. Is it GitHub apps?
Yeah, it's a GitHub app thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I found something. Yeah, let's go through there. I think I can help you.
Great, thanks.
Awesome. All right. Anyone else want to share or discuss something?
Just to say that the move of kernel into USR continues, making good progress, hopefully making it nice and secure as well. At the very least, if you've got secure boot on. I'm about to post a big write-up of what we're doing and how we're doing it. So if anyone's interested or has concerns, please check that out. I'll post a link in Matrix.
Awesome. Yeah. Maybe even put it in some of the readmes in the repos, so it's discoverable. Not sure, but it sounds great. Awesome to see that we're making progress there as well. Right. Open mic time continues. Anything else you folks wanna bubble up? All right. Then handing off to Cyan for the release planning.
Yes, so we would plan a release towards the end of the month. That is in 2 weeks. And should we do a stable or not? That's a bit in question. But I think we have. We have the stable pending for a very long time, and folks have been asking out as well for a new stable. So I think it's a good time that we could migrate the current beta to stable. But I would be open to other folks as well on this topic.
Yeah, I see a +1 from Matthew in the chat. I'm also for it. That will bring 5.6, and we already have the next big change lined up in alpha, and that's kernel 6.12. So I think getting the stable out in June would be prudent and would make sense. Given that this is the stable, the major stable update that will bring the Seagulls V1 deprecation, it makes sense to either have it in June or have it in September to kind of avoid, things getting into trouble while people are out on summer vacation. And I don't want to have it land in September. That will be quite a bit late. So I think it's June.
Great, then I'll update this tracker, but I think that's not much update since we cut out a new release. We had a few issues in the previous SR one which has been fixed, and those things, all the offers has gone live. I think that was the only pending thing for which we were getting pinged on all the issue trackers. But yeah, that's all on the release tracker.
That sounds good.
Yeah, to get back on the should we promote the beta to stable, I think that's really the good spot, the good moment, because I'm checking the containerd, Docker version, and the kernel version from current beta. And if we promote this to stable, there is only the systemd version that is being updated, the major component. So so we can just focus on delivering the systemd update and not thinking about containerd or Docker big updates.
Oh yeah, that's true. Now that you're mentioning it, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, we should also start preparing. I mean, in some time, the next systemd version given 257 is already out. So that is something we can tackle later. But yeah, I think this is a good time.
Great stuff. All right. That brings us to the end of this meeting. Do folks want to discuss anything else? Let's stop sharing. Calling once.
Just to say, we already have systemd 257 in the eBuilds repo, so we just need to enable it. It's using the SDK.
Yeah, it's in the SDK, not in the image. I remember the PR that you had.
Awesome. So half the work is done. Very good. All right, folks. Lazy consensus for shutting down this meeting. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. See you around in the DevSync in, I think, 2 weeks, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes. Thank you.
and
Bye-bye.
looking forward for the next bug smashing day at the end of the month, and for the new name we're going to find for it.
Sure.
All right. See you, folks.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
folks.
Bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.